Well, you got those progressions up pretty goddamn fast. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to make things more difficult here. But addressing this guy. So when I'm looking at this stuff with this inversions, I'm looking at. I shouldn't even have the scale part highlighted because this is the biggest focus right here. I'm looking at it as the lowest fret to highest fret being used. So in this instance, I'm looking at it as 4 up to the 10. So basically, 10 minus 4, you got your 6. So I'm looking at it as like 6 frets. I guess we could also include that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We could also look at it that way. So perhaps we have 7 frets total. So all the way down here, 4, which is number 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, giving us 7 total frets being used. So I really should say it that way. So that's how I'm thinking of it there. We can have it so it's less. So the way you have it set up right now, again, it's not bad. Not bad at all. But in order to get you visualizing the fretboard, let's say more in depth, was really the goal here. Really in-depth visualization, so this way you have more control over anything that you want to do. So, because there's a way to reduce the distance total, that's why I want you to keep working on this. Now, the way I was looking at this, so yes, you were right. Instead of going from here up to here, you absolutely can go down here. However, sort of going to the G chord, I don't think there's one way of doing a G chord. I don't think you played in the video when you're asking about this. So you missed one. You missed one. So yeah, going down here works great. Now, if I went up to this, I was trying to think about this further. Like, okay, we do this, we do this. If I was to not go past the 9, then, let's see, that wouldn't work. Actually, yeah, okay, so the other G chord we could go to, which would involve going backwards a little bit, would end up being the same as what I was already thinking. So, let me see. Let me just double check what I'm thinking here, because we could go end up 4 to 9, giving us a 6 fret span. Or the other way would end up being, try not to give too much away, 2 to 7. So end up being a 6 fret span as well. So tell you what, there's 2 ways of going about this. Either way, the key is, and I shouldn't have highlighted the F sharp diminished, because now that I'm thinking about it more, I'm trying to think of as many solutions as possible here to reduce fret coverage. That's really the culprit. That's what needs to focus. You got to find a different G. I think once you get that, it'll fall into place. So that's the thing. Find a different G. It's one of, so that one is ruled out. It's not the 0 inversion kind. It's either the first or the second inversion. One of those 2. That's the key to it. And then the rest should fall into place. Hopefully it falls into place. If not, well, we'll keep working on it. All right, so here's the next new thing. Again, you get it 240, just send a video. What you did was fantastic. Just basically copying what I do, the 60, 120, 180, 240. Speaking of which, let's do that now. But it looks like what we have been doing has paid off a bunch, because now we're back here. I believe this was the rhythmic pattern we first tried, and you were having a hard time with it. So let's see what happens now. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and done. 120, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 1, 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 240, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So for future reference, when you have stuff like this where every bar is going to be different, and I would imagine that's going to be a good chunk of what we end up doing here. Well, I definitely want to do that stuff with you. But anyway, so basically break it down into smaller pieces if you're having a very tough time with it. Just work on one bar at a time. Work those up by themselves. So just get as fast as you can with one individual bar. And then what you can do is do 2 bars. And I should be saying, when you work up one bar at a time, play the first chord of the next bar. This way you're practicing that transition as well. So if you work things up one bar at a time, include the first chord of the next bar. So like that, and like that. Then the next step would be do 2 bars at a time, plus the first chord of the next bar. So work that up by itself, work that up by itself, and then that up by itself. And to make sure you can knock out that repetition, when you start doing the repeats, practice this bar into that bar plus that chord. So this bar into the first bar plus the next chord. That's only if you have to. If during that first practice session you're like, you know what, this is a pain in the ass. This is a son of a bee. Son of a bitch. Just break it down. Break it down into smaller pieces. So see how it goes. Hopefully the theory stuff is cleared up. And yeah, any questions, let me know. I will see you again in your next video. I might stream on Saturday. I'm not sure. Tomorrow is definitely out. Got some plans. Might stream on Saturday. When? I'm not sure. Don't know. But hopefully the notification gets through to you. All right. Talk to you soon.